Have you ever wondered why the government can sometimes restrict what you do with your property without paying you, while other times they must offer compensation? It is a fascinating and crucial distinction in how our states operate. The direct answer is no. Police power generally does not require compensation in the same way that eminent domain does. These are two fundamentally different powers exercised by the government, with distinct legal implications for property owners. The core reason for this difference lies in their purpose and effect. Police power is the inherent authority of the state to enact and enforce laws for the protection of the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Think of regulations like zoning laws, building codes, or environmental protections. These are regulatory actions that govern the use of property for the common good. Eminent domain, however, is the power to take private property for public use, even if the owner does not want to sell. This power is explicitly tied to the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, which requires just compensation for such takings. To understand this practically, consider a new zoning ordinance that restricts the type of business you can operate on your land. This is an exercise of police power, aiming to maintain neighborhood character or manage traffic flow. While it might reduce your property's commercial value, it does not typically warrant compensation. In contrast, if the state decides it needs a portion of your land to build a new highway, that is eminent domain, a direct appropriation of your property for public use, requiring fair payment. This distinction introduces the concept of compensable versus non-compensable government actions. Police power actions are generally considered non-compensable because they regulate behavior or property use, rather than directly acquiring the property. Courts have long held that property ownership comes with certain limitations for the collective benefit. An interesting detail is the idea of a regulatory taking, where a regulation goes so far as to deprive an owner of all economically beneficial use of their property, effectively becoming a taking that would require compensation. However, this is a very high bar to meet, and most regulations do not cross that threshold. Ultimately, recognizing the difference between police power and eminent domain helps us understand the robust authority states possess to govern for the collective well-being of their citizens. While police power might impose burdens or reduce property values through regulation, it is an essential function of government that does not, in most cases, trigger the compensation requirements associated with the direct appropriation of property through eminent domain. It is a fundamental aspect of balancing individual property rights with the broader public interest.